Hello and welcome to this online College of Coding video tutorial series. This is the third video in the series of Breaky blocks intermediate in GameMaker. In this video, we're adding to the game environment with some walls for the paddle to bounce against. Before starting this video, it's recommended you've seen the previous videos in the series, as well as the intermediate programming concept videos and introduction to GameMaker videos. Let's get started. We're going to create some walls to stop our paddle moving off the screen and also mark out the game area. We'll need to work out a way for our paddle to find out the wall's X positions and stop itself from moving past them. The first step to creating the walls, however, is to create a sprite. So click the new sprite button and name your sprite SPR_wall. Choose the edit sprite button, go to File, New, and we need a width of 4 and a height of 900. Click on the pencil to edit the image and choose a blue color from the right over here, then use the bucket fill tool to fill our sprite blue. Now we need to close the image editor, close the sprite editor, and click the center button to center our wall's origin, and we can close the sprite properties window by pressing OK. Now that we've got the sprite, it's time to make an object, which we're going to call obj_wall and give it the corresponding wall sprite. That's our object done, quick and easy. Now we need to place some in the room. So open up the room, use the scroll wheel to zoom out and the grid button to turn off the grid. In the Objects tab on the left, we can select our wall from the drop down and place one of them on each side of the room at the approximate positions that I have, because we're about to set their positions manually by right clicking and going to change position. We need one at 323 on the x-axis and on the y-axis 452. The other one goes at 957 on the x-axis and 452 on the y-axis. So they're both at the same height, but their x position is different. It's also a good time for us now to move the paddle down just a bit above the height of the bottom of the walls. To finish off the walls here in the room, we need to add some creation code. We can do that by right-clicking and going to creation code. With this code, we're creating a global variable for each wall and storing its ID inside. This is how we're setting up the relationship between the paddle and the walls so the paddle can work out where to stop moving. Now we're done in the room, click OK, and we need to open up the paddle object. In the step event, open the execute code action. We need to add a new line below our line that we already have. We're going to start by declaring a variable extent and giving it the value sprite width divided by 2. The extent represents the distance from the center of the paddle to the edge. That's why we're dividing the width by 2. Any variable that has global dot before it is a global variable, which can be accessed anywhere in the project. By storing the ID of each of the walls in a global variable, we can access them within the paddle object. Because the variables are global, there's no restriction on where you can access them. So we're accessing them from within the paddle script, and we can use the ID to get the X position of each wall and use a clamp function which will clamp our X position of our paddle in between the values of the X positions of the two walls. We're also taking into account the paddle's extents so that the paddle stops against the wall and not halfway through it. So press the tick and then press OK. Then use the play button to test it out. Now the paddle follows the mouse, but it won't go outside the walls. This tutorial's been quick, and what we've got so far looks pretty cool. In the next video, we're adding a ball to our game. See you then.